It is the 1st of October 2021. October is the season of Halloween. Yes, best time of the year. And every day this month, I'll be dropping a horror movie review. It's going to be a classic, a modern day. Who knows? Actually, there will be, because I've just thought of a couple that I can slip into this month of fantastic Halloweenism. And is that even a word? Well, who cares? I've thrown it in there now. It's just great. It's going to be a good time, folks. So today, I am kicking off with Danny Boyle's directorial debut, which is called Shallow Grave. And I want to get into this crazy ass British movie because I have got the Blu-ray. It was just crazy to watch, and yeah, let's get into this review. So, Shallow Grave, it's set in Glasgow/Edinburgh, and like behind me, you can see the three housemates comprised of David Eccleston. And yeah, he plays an accountant called David, and he kind of proves one thing once and for all, that accountants can indeed be sexy. And for further proof of this, just check out Eva Green as Vesper Lind in Casino Royale.
So as charming as you are, Mr. Bond, I will be keeping my eye on our government's money and off your perfectly formed house.
You noticed?
Even accountants have imagination.
Right in the middle, you got Ewan Mcgregor, and he plays Alex, a journalist. I will say one thing though, like when you see him in the movie, you're never quite sure at first who he's meant to be playing. I thought he was like doing his Nick Leeson thing from Rogue Trader, which I know was like a few years down the line later, which by the way I've actually got. I'm looking forward to watching that. But yeah, you're not quite sure who he's playing at first until they kind of make that reveal much later on in the movie. So finally, we have Kerry Fox, and like her surname suggests, she is indeed a hottie, and she actually hails from New Zealand, so I'm assuming she's putting on the English accent, or she's brought up with an English tongue in the land of the Kiwis and Peter Jackson. But she's terrific, and she's Juliet the Doctor. And yeah, these three people are looking for an additional housemate to join them. It's like they're kind of like these affluent, kind of well-paid individuals. Like if you see the house they're living in, it's like, who lives there? That's you know, I know that's the 1990s, but I don't know who would be able to afford that kind of rent. It's pretty insane. So you know, they do this series of interviews. Like the first person they interview is really funny because that person comes back later on into the movie to get a bit of a one-up into one of the characters who was a douche to him in the audition process. And it is like an audition. You're sitting there, they're asking you all these kind of questions, and it's like, it's really uncomfortable actually. I think this kind of stuff actually went on in the 90s, so it's kind of weird that when you watch this now, you're kind of feeling, ugh. So they're doing this audition process because they're looking for an additional person to join in. That person turns out to be Keith Allen. Yes, that is Alfie Allen, the one that got neutered in Game of Thrones. His dad walks into the proceedings, seems like a nice guy. He's got 2 suitcases with him. And yeah, one night, our 3 housemates are just having the time of their lives. They stumble into his room by mistake, and he's lying there, dead, in his birthday suit. So word to the wise, if you're eating dinner at this particular moment and it's not bangers and mash for the Americans, that is sausages and mashed potatoes, avoid this scene at all costs because it'll put you off sausages for the rest of your lives. Okay, so here's where the fun really begins. When they open one of the suitcases, it is filled to the brim with cash. Now, I can't remember exactly how much money it was reported to be in it. I think it was £500,000, but I'm not sure. They don't actually mention that at all. If they did, it flew over my head. And then it kind of reminds a bit about Deliverance. Now, if you saw that film with Burt Reynolds and Jon Voight, remember when they killed that redneck and they had to find a way to bury the body, but then they're all arguing with each other about, well, you know, you can't do this because it's against the law, blah, 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 all that stuff. Well, here, that is all out of the question. It's like, okay, we've got this stash of cash. What do we do with it? Now, the most sensible person here is David. At the moment, he's sensible, played by Eccleston. He's like, well, no, we need to keep it and secure it, blah, blah, blah. But of course, now you can kind of see the wheels slowly grinding away between Alex and Juliet, like, you know, what are we going to do? And the whole situation just gets really, really crazy because David ends up living in the attic where he stored the money. And there's this running gag in the movie where the phone goes off and then somebody apart from Juliet answers it. And like every time they pick up the phone, it's like, sorry, she's not in, bye. And that's it. That's all you hear. And so I think that's just the actual gag. I don't think the phone is a forewarning of something bad that's going to happen. I don't think so. I don't recall that ever happened, but maybe I just wasn't paying that much attention. But I thought that phone joke was actually quite a funny gag. Is this film scary? No. Is it gruesome? Absolutely. I mean, with a title like Shallow Grave, what are you going to expect? And you know, this is before Danny Boyle really hit the big time with Trainspotting, but this film is kind of co-developed by Channel 4 Television with Polydor. I mean, it's an insane collaboration. Channel 4 was kind of responsible for a lot of the cult British movies of the 90s, and this is definitely worth a watch. The Blu-ray version I have is absolutely fantastic. The colors really pop. It doesn't have to be a 4K treatment. I think how it looks is incredible because I believe it was shot in digital anyway, so it looks really, really good. The film hasn't dated. An amazing soundtrack, I believe, was done by Left Field. I think they're kind of like a trip hop band, so if you haven't heard their stuff before, you can get a good taste in this movie, what it's like. And yeah, you get some really odd supporting villains coming into the proceedings. They're absolutely useless. Well, they're not useless until they meet the three of these guys, but before that they're pretty fearless and just do some gruesome things to informants who can give them the information about where this hidden stash of cash is. And the ending is really good. I won't spoil anything for you. If you've not seen this film, the ending is really damned cool. And all I can say is, did they actually get away with it in the end? So Shallow Grave, guys, made in 1994, kicking off my series this month of horror Halloween classics until the very big day of the 31st of October. Might do a fancy dress for that, I don't know. But you know, if you got any ideas of how you like to see me, do leave a comment below and I'll see what I can do to accommodate. So guys, if you enjoyed my review today for Shallow Grave, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button right in the crotch, and I will see you on my next review.
You can run, but you can't hide!